Here are some GeoGuessr tips for Europe, part 1. Starting off with Greenland. When you see these types of buildings and houses, along with this Google car, you're going to be in Nuuk, the capital of Greenland. Next up, Iceland. Iceland is the only country in the world that uses this yellow bollard with the white reflector. You're also going to find this very typical landscape. We're now heading over to the Faroe Islands. In the Faroe Islands, you're going to find a landscape that looks kind of like the landscape in Iceland, but the Google car is different since it has a roof rack. Next up, Norway. In Norway, you're also going to find a very distinct landscape, along with almost orange colored center lines. Another tip for Norway are the green plates on certain vans. Now we're heading on to Sweden. In this image, you can already see multiple clues for Sweden. First off, the road lines. The outer road lines in Sweden almost always tend to be short dashes. Next up, we also have the chevrons with the colors of the Swedish flag. And we also have this type of signage. And let's not forget Finland. In Finland, you're very commonly going to find these white street signs. Notice about them how they almost always end in T, T-I-E. Also in Finland, you're going to find these types of signs, blue with white arrows. Next up, Ireland. First thing you'll notice about Ireland is that they drive on the left side of the road and that they use white plates both on the back of the car and the front of the car. But very common in Ireland is also the Irish language. You're very commonly going to see the Irish language and then just English. Next up, Northern Ireland. For Northern Ireland, I don't have a specific clue, except for the fact that they also drive on the left but use yellow backplates rather than white backplates. But when you see a lot of white backplates as well, you're most likely going to be either in Ireland or Northern Ireland. Please let me know in the comments if you know any specific clues for Northern Ireland. Next up, Scotland. This is more so a tip for Glasgow, a city in Scotland. You'll notice that they drive on the left with yellow backplates, but they use these signs, 20's plenty. Next up, the Isle of Man. The easiest way to find out that you're in the Isle of Man is looking at the license plates. They tend to use red strips on the left side of the plate. Now we're on to Wales. Just like in the rest of the UK, the driving side in Wales is on the left and they use yellow backplates. Easiest way to notice that you're in Wales is by looking at the language. And to end off this video, let's look at England. This is another city-specific clue, and this time it's London. In London, you're very commonly going to find these types of street signs. They have the street name and they have the borough listed there. London Borough of Southwark. This was part 1 of GeoGuessr tips for Europe. Make sure to subscribe to be notified when part 2 is uploaded.